This video is going to be a procedure for how to sew a professional button onto fabric. And I'm actually going to also show you how to utilize a buttonhole, although we're not going to sew it. We're going to actually just cut it open so you can do the process. Okay, so let's get that set up first. So take your fabric and just for now, just fold it in half, short end to short end like that. And give yourself a nice crease on the end. You can use, if you don't have a nail, you could use just the handles of shears, work really well. And then open it up, okay? And you're going to take a marking pencil, so this is one of the supplies you'll need, and you're going to mark a dot in the middle, because we're going to put the button that we're using, and you don't have to use a large button like this. You could use a smaller one, you could use one with 2 holes if you wanted, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to demonstrate on a 4-hole button. So anyway, there's our dot that you just drew, and that's pretty much the center of the button. So when I'm ready to put the button on, I'm going to cover the dot. Okay, so you're going to need thread, and again, something to write with, a button, a needle. Now this is an embroidery needle. It's got a very large eye on it, but that's just so that I can demonstrate and you can see well. You don't have to use one this big. You could use a smaller needle that would be normal for doing a button. And here's some shears that are going to be coming handy to give you nice sharp cuts. All right, so I'm going to thread my needle. So you're going to cut yourself what I call a wingspan. So it should be from your hands to your shoulder, or you could do the opposite shoulder if you're short like me, and cut it. And you're probably saying, well, that's a really long strand of thread. It is, but we're going to be using a double strand of thread, so it's going to be half this size. So the next thing you want to do is thread your needle. Getting it in there. There we go. Okay, and you're going to continue to pull on the beginning of that thread until you get evened up with the other strand. So I have both my strands now are evened up at the bottom. My needle is on the opposite side, held with the loop there created by putting it through. So that's going to go over here for the time being, and I'm going to work with the strands. I need to put a knot there. So the knot goes where the loose strands are at the opposite end of the needle. So the easiest thing to do is just a square knot, where you just literally loop it over and stick the end of the strands into the loop, and then you pull. And that's just your typical square knot. All right, so now we're ready to sew. So you're going to take the needle point and you're going to pierce the dot. So wherever you drew that dot, that's the center of your needle. You're going to go ahead and pierce right through that, and you're going to pull until the knot is on the dot. So I'm actually going to cut this tail off. You don't need a big tail coming off your knot. So now when I pull back, it's a little short tail, which is fine. Okay, that's the first step. Second step is to grab your button and get it put exactly where you want it. Should be, you know, on top of that knot now that you have. And then you want to kind of hold it and hold it up with the other hand. So you're going to take the needle and you're going to work from the underneath side. I'm still holding onto my button exactly the position I want it in. You're going to come from the underneath and you're going to figure out where one of these holes is so you can come up into it. So I lucked out and got it. Okay? And then you pull all the way up. Now just make sure you're not leaving a loop. Always kind of keep an eye back there. All right, so you could go around in like a circle, or you could do the crisscross method, which is what I'm going to do. But with 4 holes, you do have some options on how you want the design to look. But I'm just going to do the simplest way, which is the cross, you know, exactly across diagonally from where I came in, up rather, and I'm going back down into the opposite hole. Okay, and now I'm going to come back up. So I'm coming from the bottom now. I'm going to try to come back up into that empty hole there. I could have come up into that one, but this one is just easier for me with the angle I'm sewing at. Come all the way up. Again, check, make sure you're not leaving an extra loop or something. And then you're going to go back down into that opposite hole. And now we have done what I call a rotation. So we're completed one set of holes with a single thread. In this case, it's a single double strand thread. Okay, So what you want to do now is you want to create a little space between the bottom of the button and the material so that when you actually use this button, we're going to cut a slit in here to create the use of a button simulated. You want room for that material that's going to slide under there without it buckling. So I'm just going to, if you can see this, I'm going to lift up a tiny bit because this is a thin material, so I don't need to lift very much, but just a little bit so there's a little space there. And you're going to try to maintain that while you sew. Okay, so going back to where I started, I came up into this hole first, so I'm going to come back up. Now notice that I'm underneath the fabric, so I have to start by going into the button from this direction. I can't like go like that, because then that would be pulling the thread from the back to the front, and then I'm going to get this weird thing there that's not supposed to be there. So you have to always go from where you ended. So I'm starting from the bottom, and I'm going to go up into that hole, because that was the first hole I went into before. Okay, I'm going to go down into the opposite hole, because that's what I did before. Okay, and I want to keep maintaining my shank that I started, so pull up a little bit so you can get that little space. Don't forget that. All right, and then, so I'm holding it this way, I think. Yeah, it tries to turn around on you a little bit while you're, because you have to loosen it up to get that shank, and then it starts turning around. So you just have to be mindful of the direction you want it to be in. So I'm going to go up into the third hole, which is right there. Okay, and keep an eye on the back again so it doesn't all start looping on you. And then I'm going to go back down into the last hole, which is my fourth hole. Okay, so that's 2 rotations. Now if I really wouldn't use this button on like a pair of pants at the waist or something, maybe around the sleeves that's going to get some pull to it, I need to put in a couple more rotations because that's not very much thread there. It's not going to hold it that well, unless it's just decorative. I'm not going to really use it. But we're going to supposedly do a button like we're going to be needing it. So I'm going to come back up. I'm going to go down. So this is my 3rd rotation I'm on. And then I'm going back up into this one and coming back down. Okay, so now I should have 3 strands of double thread in each hole going from one hole to another. So I'm going to do one more. That'll give me 4 rotations, and that button should be pretty strong for whatever I need it for, except a coat. A coat, you really have to do a lot of sewing because coat buttons take a lot of stress. You don't want it to pop off. All right, and okay, that is now 4 rotations. Okay, that's pretty strong. So I maintained my shank. I have a little bit of space. Oops. I have a little space in there, but you can try to pull up a little bit more just to make sure there's a little space there. So now what I want to do is I don't want the slack of the shank to show up in the threads that are loose up here. I want this button to kind of stand up like that. So the way you do that is you create a shank. So I'm going to go in the middle. So take your thread now from where it came out, and you should end up on the bottom. So if your thread's poking out a hole, you want to go back in the opposite hole so it ends up underneath. So you're going to put the pin, or excuse me, put your needle in the middle of the thread, and you're going to flip the material back and come out between the material and the button. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. You're going to put your needle, you're piercing it in the middle of your thread, kind of mess of thread there, and then you're going to pull back the material to the pin area, and then you're going to end up coming straight through with that pin. So it's actually going to be between the bottom of the button and the fabric, and just pull it in. Okay, so now I've got the needle coming out between the 2 pieces. So I'm going to hold the fabric like this, okay, and I'm going to wind the thread around 3 times. 1, 2, 3, pretty tight, so that I'm creating a shank. So now the button will stand up better. And I'm going to secure that shank by putting the needle through the whole shank, front to back, and then coming back to the front and doing it again. And then one more time, except this time I'm going to make, I'm going to go through this opening here. Just go through the loop. And that gives me a little knot. And that is all there is. I'm going to cut the extra so it doesn't show. Just trim that up. And the button is lying flat. Okay. There's the thread underneath. Again, you're not going to use an opposite color to what you're sewing on. You're going to try to match it up better. But I wanted you to see what I was doing, so that's why mine is, you know, kind of a contrasting color. All right, so the other thing we were going to try to do is pretend this is actually a button on something. So we're going to, you know, pretend that there was a buttonhole, so you're going to have to actually draw one. So what you want to do is you want to cover that up again like we did. Remember you made the crease before? And you want to put an imprint of where the button is kind of with your hand. So I know that the button is right here, so I'm going to put a little dot in the middle, and that will help me to draw the line I need to draw. So just put a little dot in the middle of your button. That's pretty good, okay? And then you want to hold it down, and I'm gonna have to put it on the table to do this, but you're gonna have to draw a line through the dot going to the edge of the button from left to right, because that's how I want my opening to be. If you wanted your opening this way, you would just do it the same way, but it would be vertical. But I want mine to be horizontal. So actually, I'm gonna make mine a little bit this way. So I'm doing it in the air, so it's hard to see. But actually, that's where the center of the button is. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw a straight line going where the middle should be. It should be the middle of the whole button, going left to right. Okay, that's a little short. It's going to probably have to be a little bit more, but I don't want to draw too much. So this is pretty close. So now I'm going to cut the slice or a slit in the fabric where I drew the line. Okay, right there. So, okay, that's good. And then I'm going to continue to cut on the line till I get to the end of my mark there. And okay, so there's the slice that I just made. So now I can try to actually use this as a functional button, not just decorative. So now you see that's not quite big enough. I'd rather have to cut more than have cut it too big, because if you cut it too big, you can't really fix that. So let me just make sure I don't cut it. Okay, so I need to cut it on this side. This side has plenty, so I need to cut. So you always have to keep checking it so you don't cut too much on one side and not enough on the other. So that should be good now. Okay, so I'm going to button it. There we go. And there's enough room for the material to lie flat because you left your shank. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Now the only thing different that you might do is if you have a button with two holes, you're just going to go back and forth, you know, between those two holes when you're doing your rotation. You won't be going this way and then this way. So it's just it's easier to do a button with two holes than four holes. So, but everything else is the same. Okay, so that would be what you're trying to make, and I will be grading you on that.